We're going to get started on some exponents and place value. As you can see, today's date is Monday, 8/25, and we have our title of what we're starting right here. So make sure that you're starting a new piece of paper for today's date, Monday, 8/25. We're going to talk about exponents and place value. We've been talking about place value for a couple days now, but we're going to talk about exponents. And exponents are numbers that are written up above numbers to tell you something that you want to do with a number. So what we have is, if we say we have 10 to the 4th, right, then what we know is that 10, that looks like 16, 10 is the base, and 4 is the exponent or the power. Alright? So what that means is that 10 to the 4th is saying that we're going to multiply the base by itself to that many times that the exponent of the power is. So if it says the base is 10 and the exponent is 4, we're going to multiply 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So then that 10 to the 4th turns into this, and this is going to be our expanded form of exponents. And then our answer, and when we're dealing with 10, is very easy because all we have to do is count zeros. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, I'm going to end up with 4 zeros in my answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I put my comma in. I want to do the math, though, to see how that works. So 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. 10 times 10 right here is 100. And then 100 times 10 right here, times 10 more, is 1,000. If I have 10 1,000s, 10 times 1,000, I have 10,000. So we see that the math there, if we break it down into 3 different multiplication problems, that we see that 10 to the 4th turns into 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 is 10,000. Alright? So I'll let you guys, make sure you guys are getting copied down. And remember, as always, I'm going through this. If you have to pause it to write stuff down and pay attention, make sure that you are doing so. So, the next one we're going to do is we're going to stay in base 10 here, and we are going to say that 10 to the 3rd power. So, right now I want you to think about on your own, how am I going to write 10 to the 3rd power in expanded exponent form? How am I going to do that? Well, we know that 10 is my base, and 3 is my exponent. So I'm going to take my base, and I'm going to multiply it by itself. How many times? 3, because that's what the exponent says. So 10 times 10 times 10 turns into 10 times 10 is 100. If I have 100 times 10, I have 1,000. And that is my answer right there. Well, let's count that. How many zeros did we see in this original problem? 10 times 10 times 10. I see 1, 2, 3 zeros. In my answer, I see 1, 2, 3 zeros. So when you're multiplying, when you're doing exponents with base 10, all you have to do is add zeros. So, shouldn't be too difficult. I know that a lot of you have seen this before. Quick refresher, introduction for everybody. Alright, so now we're going to get a little bit trickier in the sense that we are going to start using bases that aren't 10. So let's try 5 to squared. Okay, 5 squared. So again, I'm going to take my base, I'm going to take my exponent. So I take my base, which is 5, and I multiply it by itself, or by the same number, 2 times. So 5 times 5 is 25. So we know that 5 squared, or to the 2nd power, is 25. Well, what about 5 to the 3rd? What would that be in expanded exponential form? That would be 5 times 5 times 5. Because I have my base is 5, my exponent or power is 3, So I'm going to do repeated multiplication of the number 5 that many times. So I know that 5 times 5 is 25. So I have to do 25 times 5. Now, what if I don't know 25 times 5 off the top of my head? What can I do? Yep, you're right. The great answer there is writing it out and showing my work. So 25 times 5, I'd write it out this way. So 5 times 5 is, right, 25. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. So my answer of 5 to the third power is 125. Right. I'm going to try 2 more here. Let's do 6 to the 4th power. All right. Let's write that out in exponential form. So 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. Right? And again, we can do this a couple different ways, but I know that 6 times 6 right here, this answer is going to be 36. And then I need to multiply that number by this 6. So it's 36 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 3 is 21. So now I've crossed off that, and I have 1 6 left, so I have 216. I have to multiply that by 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 1 times 6 is 6, plus 3 is 9. 2 times 6 is 12. So my answer there is 1,296. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is just how to go from expanded form, right, and condense it. So if I see 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7, I know that my base is what number? 7. Very good. Then all I need to do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I know that that is 7 to the 5th. Right. So much of what you're going to do today is going to be dealing with base 10, identifying base, and identifying the exponent. We'll actually get to some of this more expanded or exponential answers with non-base or non-10 numbers at the end of today and definitely tomorrow. So go ahead and make sure you get this all copied down. Everything that you've seen on here needs to be on your paper. And